She's back. She's a Wreck is back. And we're back better than ever. I'm Lauren Lyle, your host. And it's been a minute, but here we are. We've glowed up. You can see me, you can hear me, you can feel me. You know, you can feel the vibes through. And I'm back with your favourite podcast, where I give you cultural recommendations from all of my friends, my pals in film, TV, radio, music, books, sport, every corner of the globe that is something inspiring, where they will recommend you really, really cool things that are by really, really cool women and people that basically aren't men. Yeah? Because we need more of that in the world. So it's been a sec, but we've had a glow up, and I'm ready to fill your bones, fill your brains, fill your hearts with lists of things that you'll never stop listening to and watching and reading. But first off, we've got my good friend from a little show that I think some of you will know called Outlander, as some might say. That's episode 1. But before that, we've got some house rules. Number 1 being, there's a man in the room, and we must respect him. Jimmy?
Hi. I'm painfully aware that I am a straight white man.
Quite right. With a family.
With a family. I don't think that should be held against me.
Wow.
One of the offspring's a woman, so that's fine.
Good for you.
But I think we've known each other long enough that you can vouch for me not being like an aggressively laddie guy. No,
you have, if anything, changed my life, Jimmy, on this podcast, because you have been brought in to make it what it is now. And look at the setup. You've basically brought us to the traitors.
You say I've been brought in. We literally bumped into each other
at the gym.
Yeah. I'm like, should we record?
Yeah, I was like, he was like, do you want to do another season? And I was like, yeah, it's just a lot, isn't it? And do you want to produce it? And he said, yeah. And Jimmy went, yeah, I'll produce it. And I went, great, let's do it. So here we are. If it doesn't work out this time, it is your fault.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll take that.
Great. You're the adult in the room.
I'll be here to kind of keep tabs on the chat as we go along. I also
fact check. You've done some serious fact checking.
Also, frantically Googling if you watch this on YouTube, by the way, frantically Googling when Lauren looks across to me and says, "Oh, you know that random memory I've just had? Can you Google it?" Can you just Google that thing I've thought of but I haven't said to you out loud yet?
It tends to just be, Jimmy, do you know? Jimmy, why would you know that?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do.
And you know what? You dress well.
Oh, I'll take that.
Yeah. You dress well. You're kind of like a skater dude.
You've said that to me before.
Do you not like that?
I don't not like it. I just couldn't skateboard if I tried.
Oh, really? What shoes are you wearing? You're wearing shoes for a skater. He's skater boy. No?
I feel like everyone wears these shoes.
See if you can get Avril Lavigne on.
Right? Yeah, so that's the aim.
That'll be great.
That would be a mad episode,
That'd
I think.
be so cool.
Yeah.
If it's the real her.
If it's the real her.
To be confirmed if it's really her.
Yeah, there was that whole documentary about whether she's real or not, wasn't there?
Oh, we're still not sure.
Okay.
Are we sure?
I don't know. Should I Google it?
What are you doing here otherwise?
I'll also be... there's all the social medias.
Yeah, Jimmy's just going to run it all, okay? You're going to run it all.
You need to give me some logins first.
Oh, yeah. Wait, the password list is absolutely outrageous. I'll just send... You'll organise everything. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
You'll organise everything. I'll be the face.
Yeah, name above the door.
Yeah.
But it's my fault if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Great. Deal.
Cool, good team. But actually loving having a teammate.
Yeah, it's fun.
Teammate.
Yeah, no, it's good.
So house rule number 1 was respect Jimmy, which I think we're doing a good job of.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And number 2 is follow us on everything. You have to, if you want to be a fan of the show, you have to follow us on everything. Instagram, she's a wreck. TikTok, she's a wreck. YouTube, she's a wreck.
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah.
What else? What else?
Don't want to do X.
I don't think we do.
No, it's a bit of a cesspit.
Let's do truth though.
Oh yeah,
Let's get on Truth.
Us and Donald Trump on Truth Social.
Let's get on Truth. Do you know what? That would be an incredible wide audience.
Yeah.
So that's the other house show. What are the other house shows?
The other one is if you're a really big fan. There's a layer of She's a Wreck fandom that you haven't had before, isn't there?
She's a Rextra.
Hello.
Does it sound a bit like erection? It sounds like she's a Rex.
It's a really good pun though, isn't it?
It's an excellent pun. And who came up with it? Jimmy.
Hello.
Yeah, that's why you're here. That's why I need you. She's our extra. And if you're a fan of the podcast, you're a wreckhead.
Yeah.
That rocks.
That was a great dog walk when I came up with both of those.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, we're branding it all now.
So that's on Patreon.
So yeah, if you wanna go on Patreon, you'll get extras. Basically, those extra episodes will have like snippets and like secret bits that are too juicy to leave into an episode. So you'll be able to get a bit of extra goss in the Patreon.
There is actually in this extra episode. There's a thing about Glastonbury that I think you probably wouldn't have said if Outlander was still filming.
Oh my God, that story. That's actually true.
That's
actually
in the extra
true.
episode.
So Outlander, if you want to find out what I did during a season of Outlander at Glastonbury, you're going to have to go and subscribe to the Patreon.
And there's also some really lovely stuff with you and Caitriona talking about just life in general as part of Outlander, how things have changed.
Some kind of more behind the scenes stuff, I guess.
There's more behind. There's loads in the actual episode, but you guys talked for ages about Outlander, so it's a big extra chunk of that.
Sick. So go there, get that.
It'll also be, if you're on that Patreon, it'll also be a place where you can put some questions in, because we'll be able to tell you about the guests that we've got coming up as well. Some of them we've already got in the can, so you can't ask questions for them.
True.
But ones that we book in, ask questions, maybe some recommendations that people want from you.
Yes, I will be doing my own recommendations. That's been a big ask generally on the podcast, has been what are mine? From everyone, thanks Jimmy. From fans.
Okay. From the Wreckheads.
From the Wreckheads. From you guys, the Wreckheads. You know who you are. You've asked.
Great. Well, those people can now prove that and ask some questions, get some recommendations in.
God, I really can't lie now.
Also, if things go well and there's merch or there's live shows, people that are Wreckheads will hear about that first.
On the Patreon?
Yeah.
Basically, come onto Patreon and you will get loads of Rextras. That's going to take...
She's a Rextras. Thank you. Can you get its full name every time? She's a Extras.
Okay, what else? What other house rules do we have?
That's kind of it. Enjoy yourselves.
Enjoy yourselves.
Have a nice time.
Yeah.
Put
like, subscribe, share. Tell everyone, tell your friends, tell your mum, tell your dad, tell your grandparents, tell the dog. Anyone with a social media account, let them know. Yeah?
That little Cockney accent you just did there.
Did I?
Was it a Cockney accent that you did?
Accent?
Like you slip into like a British accent every now, not British, English accent every now and again.
Is it? Oh.
And you do it in some episodes. I've noticed while I've been chopping them together.
Is it
and it's good.
Really sort of? Is it that one?
No, it's a bit more like rough around the edges.
Right, I have no idea. Can you point it out next time I do it?
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Like,
no.
Right.
You're trying too hard now. Anyway,
consider yourself.
It's a bit like that.
I'm just a multifaceted, talented actor, and I'm always perfecting my craft.
Can we get your BAFTAs in here one day?
Yeah.
Can you bring a BAFTA?
I'll bring the twins in. I'll bring the twins in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have them here.
That wasn't me that said that that's what they were. Other people dubbed them the twins, and I took that immediately on.
As much as people will love hearing about the twins, seeing the twins at some point.
Of course.
There's probably a lot of people who want to actually hear an episode of She's a Wreck now. Yes.
Okay, so our first episode is with Caitriona Balfe, who a lot of you will know as Claire Fraser from Outlander. And she was my first ever guest on the podcast ever back in 2020. And I think it probably came out in 2021, but we recorded in 2019, 2020. And she was my guinea pig. And she was so generous. And we did it in her house. And I had no clue what I was doing. And she was amazing. And it kicked everything off. So I thought no one better than to bring her back as the relaunch, rebrand guest for season 3. And mainly as well because so much of our lives have changed since then. It's been a good sort of 5-6 years. And both of our lives have completely skyrocketed in various different ways and just massively changed. And we recorded this episode the week that season 8, the final ever season of Outlander, the release date was confirmed and announced, and you got your first look of what season 8 is going to look like. All I'll say is there will be tears. Ooh. Not in this episode. There'll be just tears in that show.
No one cries in this one.
No. And if you don't know who Caitriona Balfe is and you're not interested, listen anyway, because it's amazing. They're really, really fun, clever, weird recommendations. You bought the book immediately after.
Did for my mum.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she also just has like amazing life advice and like amazing career advice.
Actually, the way she talks about being a parent in this episode as a parent really hit home.
Yeah. And
like,
also,
yeah,
for me that's not a parent, the things that hit home is like the way in which her life began, where she was like a model in LA. Karl Lagerfeld loved her. She was a Victoria's Secret model in LA.
We didn't really cover that.
We didn't, but she was a Victoria's Secret model in LA, and then suddenly got Outlander and was skyrocketed into this completely different life. And hearing how she handled that for 10 years is mad, and how any actor could do something like that, and the sort of behind the scenes of what the industry actually looks like for someone at that level is very, very interesting.
Should we let her say that?
Whatever. Fine. Let's go. Welcome back to She's a Red Cat. We don't do any of that.
Going so well.
You are the first episode back.
I feel very honoured. I feel like I should get a She's a Wreck cup though as a
we
return.
need to do merch.
Oh.
Jimmy.
Tell us now. I already fucked it by not making a mug.
Because some people, on other shows, people get return.
Amy Poehler's Good Hang. They've got mugs. And they've got loads of emblems everywhere.
Okay, right.
I was given in trouble.
Jimmy.
I was told this week that we didn't need a neon sign saying She's a Wreck, because there was already going to be enough branding with like this here and with
stuff on screen.
On screen. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of love a neon sign.
I feel like it's quite American in Hollywood, isn't it?
Very cool.
Neon mugs next week, sorted.
Oh, okay.
Glowing mugs.
I like that. A little glow in the dark. She's a Wreck.
Yeah, easy.
See, we've already figured out the branding.
Well, this is like the rebrand. This is like the relaunch rebrand. But you were the first one I ever had, and we sat in your house. I was trying to figure out today.
It was in my old flat, and I was trying to think, because we sold it, I guess, the next year.
And I was trying to get going with the series, and I asked you if you'd be my guinea pig, and you were so like, yeah, of course, no problem, which I didn't expect at all. But now we are, what's that, 6 years ago? And both of our lives have hugely changed.
Both of our lives have changed a lot. I mean, it's mad. It's mad, like, how we've all known each other. Like, when did you start?
2016 I got cast.
2016, that's mad.
And then I think my first day would have been 2016. In Scotland, when I had to call you a whore. I had to call you a whore. I remember being so scared of you.
I know, you keep saying you were scared of me. And I'm like, I don't know. I pride myself on being really welcoming and really like, hey, welcome to the show and everything. And I don't know, something lost in translation.
I think it was purely your height. I was like, you're tall and beautiful, and I was so scared. But also it was my first big job. But I remember having to walk on, and one of the first scenes was calling you, I'm sure it was calling you a whore, or it was like, yeah, it was. I think that scene even got cut, or I can't remember exactly what happened. But I just remember walking onto set and it being all candle lit, and it was in the studios, and Nell Hudson was there showing me around, and I just remember you sat in the tent and you were like, hello, who are you then? I was like, I don't know who I am.
Oh my God, I always feel so bad when you tell that story, because I'm like, I'm sure I was not, I don't know, trying to be that way.
You probably weren't at all. But that was all the way. And then now, 6 years later, we've been to South Africa. We've done all our seasons, and we've just
so you've gone on, and this is what I love about Sam and I were sort of left in the show. But it's just been so lovely to watch you go on, and like how your career has blossomed, and like just you as a person, and you've like just become this like force, which is so gorgeous. Yeah.
But I was saying to Jimmy before, I was like, if there's one thing to mention, it was people always ask me, now that I have my own show, like they're always like, who did you learn from? Like, who did you watch to be number one in a show? And I was like, you were kind of the one. Like, you were the one that I had the most experience watching. But also,
that was a good example.
No, but I did, because I think I must have told you that I always found you very commanding on set in a very respectful way. Every day you would always thank everyone for being there and say goodbye and goodnight to everyone, every time without fail. And you'd only flip out on something that meant something. You'd never flip out over dumb shit. It would always be in support of someone, I remember you flipping out over something for me and Cesar.
I did. I was actually just talking about that yesterday.
Were you?
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to kiss, and Caitriona and Sam do a lot of kissing on the show, and me and Cesar, that plays Fergus, we were told we weren't allowed to kiss.
Well, I think what you were told is people didn't do that in that time.
Yes.
In public. And we were like, pretty sure we've done
they definitely
that
do.
And more.
Yeah. So we all kicked. I mean, Cesar definitely kicked off as well. And then I think eventually it was all like, fair enough. Yeah, on you go. You can touch. But now we've just announced season 8. And that's been...
It's finally going to air.
Yeah. And that's been over 10 years of your life.
So I started in 2013.
Oh my God, so 12 years of your life.
Yeah. Which is mad. I mean, we obviously finished filming just over a year ago. But yeah, I mean, like Sam and I were talking, and it was like when we wrapped, that was a quarter of our lives. We'd been on the show, which is mad. And amazing. And it's like, you know, these things don't happen very often at all. And it's sort of like, I think this year has been such an amazing year because I've been, you know, having distance from something. You're like, you can kind of look back on it and go, oh wow, like I can sort of see it in its entirety and look at it from, because I think when you're in something, sometimes you just sort of get bogged down in like
Totally.
the machine of it. And like just the... Like it required so much from us in terms of our time and your energy and all of that kind of stuff. But also it was just such a, like, to get that opportunity to do that much work and like the breadth of it and like the different stuff that would be thrown at you. It was amazing.
Yeah.
You know?
How do you feel now that it's over? Because I even think of it as like the last time we spoke was on the podcast.
We haven't spoken since 2019.
It was a really actually quite traumatic episode, and it was a lie. No, the last time we did this, so much has happened. You've been in so many different films. You've done so much else other than Outlander as well. Even like Belfast was huge.
I suppose that was after that.
It was all, like,
it's
all
weird because it doesn't feel
after.
like I've done that much. You know, when you look and when you sort of put them all together, I'm like, oh, that's quite cool. Like I've actually done a few things, but it doesn't necessarily feel that way because they're so spread out. You know.
But you've gone and been in some of like the biggest films of the last few years, like dotted about all over the place. As much as you're very humble and won't admit it, but you have.
It's been quite cool. I mean, I think look at the great thing about Outlander was it really gave me the luxury of being choosy. And not that, you know, you have so little control in this business. You know, I'm definitely not on the lists where like you're getting first pick at shit. Definitely not. But you do have the power of saying no. And I think having the luxury of waiting for something that like speaks to you, and you don't know, like you never know when you're about to do a project. You don't, like we were talking before, you don't know, like sometimes you could be having the best experience and people just don't really respond to it, or sometimes you're having a terrible time and people are like, that is amazing. But I think it's just, if you're true to your own instincts, then you can't really go wrong, because at least you've fulfilled something within yourself. And I think that's what I've been lucky about being able to do.
Me and Izzy, Nico Small, were talking about you as well the other day, saying, and she was like, Caitriona works like you almost work like you've just come out of drama school sometimes. Like you will be contacting, like you watched every BAFTA film, every short film from BAFTA that won any awards, was nominated, whatever, so that you knew what cool directors were coming up and coming out. You're always going to theatre. You asked me to go to theatre.
But you
try. That's something I don't know that everyone's always doing. Like if you've been in a big show like Outlander, I feel like lots of people can rest on like that's enough.
But to me, like that's why I'm in the business. Is not like, I love film. I love filmmakers. I love storytelling. So to me, like, we had a very strong, tight-knit group in Outlander, but it was like, that was it, right? We were just sort of in this bubble up there. And like Sam and I more so than any of you guys, because you guys would get to like...
We'd leave.
go off and do other things. And
Yeah.
and so I think one of the things that I feel like I'm missing a little bit is community. And so to me, like, that's what I'm so hungry for, is like meeting other people, and like I want to know like what this filmmaker's doing, or like that filmmaker. And I just think it's really cool, like if you and like some, you know, I have been doing this a lot in the last year. It's like if I see something, I'll just message somebody and be
So
like,
cool.
I really loved your film, like it's amazing. And like whether or not anything comes of that, that's not the point. The
Yeah.
point is like making connections with other creatives, you know.
That's that I never didn't know that about you, that you were someone that also would crave community, because I'm like that.
Yeah.
That's become probably
That's probably why you do this.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
literally like to be part of the gang. Like I want to like I say it all the time, where I'm like, I actually have always my whole life, and it's something I discovered in the last 2 years probably, that all I've really ever wanted is to be part of the gang.
Yeah.
And never always felt like I was. I think probably a lot of actors feel like that. But I think people look at me and think, you're part of loads of gangs. And I'm like, yeah, but I've never really had like one, not always invited in. I feel like I'm always being asked to be invited in. And part of the reason, I do this is for that. And I think that's part of the reason I'm an actor. And maybe why you're an actor as well, is to...
Because we're all damaged.
Yeah, but like to be on set, like
Yeah.
Outlander, as much as when I have been on it, like, because I stepped away in season 6, after season 6, and left, not thinking I'd come back. And I remember leaving, being quite almost relieved to be able to do other things, and there was other stuff going on. And then I really missed.
Yeah.
I strangely missed it. And John Bell talks about everyone that being like his family. And at the time I thought, I don't know that that's how I feel. And then when I came back for 8, I was like, oh no, it really is kind of like that. This weird, dysfunctional, loving family who actually do all kind of care
I think
deeply
we're
for
all
each
really
other.
close. I mean, I think it's very rare on a long running show to sustain that over a decade. Like, I think as a cast, we may not be out together all the time, but I think we're all very close and we all really like each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's pretty fucking special to have after that amount of time.
There's definitely things I remember showing you boys that I've been dating over time and being like, I really want her approval over it. Is he hot? Yes. Okay, great. Stuff like that. Or like John Bell and I have like had fights, like siblings have fights, and then
We see
now
you
we're
guys
best
are in like
mates.
it's so funny because when we started, Sam and I felt like we were the young like
Yeah.
pair, and then very, very quickly like all of the older guys left and it was sort of this new generation, and we were like, oh, we're slightly outside of this.
Yeah, because when you first started, was there not like, I remember you talking about how I was always envious, because there was this whole thing about when you guys did boot camp and like Graham McTavish and everyone's around, and you all just used to go and drink loads of whiskey, and there's like a really famous night where you two.
Oh my
drank
God, we
loads of
had,
whiskey.
yeah, Jesus, I don't know that I've ever drank so much in my life, and definitely haven't since. Well, because Sam and the guys all had boot camp, but they were like doing it for about, I don't know, a month before we started filming. So it was weird. They were all sort of like a group, and then Tobias and I sort of were filming together for the first 2 weeks alone. So we were like, we would just go and get drunk a lot together. And then eventually like we all sort of like, because the stories kind of combined, and then we would all go and get very drunk. And Gary Lewis brought us to his like favourite pub in, I don't know, the South Side.
Yeah.
All right, princess.
That I remember when I met Gary for the first time, being like, I've met a legend. Met Billy Elliot's dad. That's
I mean,
really...
he is a legend.
Do you feel like a totally different person now than who you were when you started?
If I could remember who I was when I started.
Yeah. Do you remember who you were?
I do. It's weird. I feel like a lot of this year has been kind of returning to a more sort of centered version of myself that was probably more similar to that person who started. Just because I think what I realized is like when you're on a big intensive show like that, it requires, like, we would film sometimes for a calendar year. A short season would be like 10, 11 months. You know, most of the time I was in, I think there was like 1 or 2 seasons where my character wasn't as crazy, like time-wise. But, you know, I would be in all the time. So you're like working a 70-hour week minimum, you know,
crazy.
like sometimes
In the
80-hour
dark.
week. And so I think just for a long time, you're just sort of surviving, you know. And if you're not on, if you're not on the show, then a lot of the time then you would be promoting the show. And like occasionally I would do jobs in between seasons, but not very often. So I think like this year I've taken a real break, even though I've done a few jobs, but they haven't been as time consuming. And it's just been like, I don't know, I'm like,
I'm a person.
This is what it's like to be a human again.
Yeah. It's quite confronting at times to be like, real life is real.
Yeah, but it's great. I don't know. I saw a friend of mine yesterday who I've known for 20 odd years, and she was like, "Oh, you seem very content," and I was like, "Yeah, I feel very centered."
You do,
whatever that means.
Okay, should we do your ex?
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? It's totally up to you. What do you want to do first? Did you pick 3 or did you pick?
I picked 3.
Go on. Yeah, you're a high achiever.
I will.
You are.
But also I was sort of like thinking about it, and I was like, well, the last time I did like my old school, like
you did. What
like really,
did?
I remember as well. I did Wuthering Heights.
Yeah. Yes. Oh,
Didn't
book.
I?
Yes, your book was Wuthering Heights. Yeah.
I did Kirsten Hirsch.
Yes, you did.
And I did Wanda.
Wanda was the film. That's right. I remember.
Have you seen that?
Yes, I have. I watched it at
so
the time.
fucking good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
She's amazing, Barbara Loudon. So then this time I was like, well, why don't I just do like things more recent?
Yeah, totally.
So these are some less recent, but some very recent.
And for people listening, not watching, because
I
you
have a
brought
notebook.
notes.
Well, because I don't remember anything, and I'm like,
you are a high achiever. I will say that. I remember.
It's so weird.
She's
Do you know
such
what?
a vocabulary queen.
I don't know, but like I think I've grown into somebody that is like, I was never like growing up. I was the mess of the family, and my sister is such a type A.
I would consider you very type A.
And now I've come to realize that maybe I've veered that way. But I've gone from being so not.
I see that because you can let loose.
We do know this about me.
I've seen you play games.
So let loose used to be my life
thing. Yeah, my thing.
and now I'm like, oh,
you would be on set the kind of person that I would say something, I'd be like, yeah, I'd like try and spit a fact of some kind. I'd be like, yeah, and I'd loosely say it, and you'd be like, well, actually,
oh God,
I know exactly.
Shut up, Caitriona.
No. Okay, what do you want to do?
All right.
First one.
So let's do film, just because it's the top of my.
Yeah.
So my film rec is a film called Babyteeth.
Love Babyteeth.
How fucking good is
one
that?
One of the best soundtracks ever to come out of a
Such an
film.
amazing soundtrack. But just such a, like, the fact that it's Shannon Murphy, her first film, is incredible because it's so assured. And I just thought, I don't know, I watched it not that long ago, actually. It's probably about 5 months ago. And I sobbed like a baby by myself. I just was like absolutely destroyed by it. And the way that she was able to find, I don't know, there's just this very like real family dynamic, and like every character is so flawed, but there's such empathy for their flaws, and they're, you know, there's no judgment for any of them, and it's all just people trying to cope with a really shit situation. And I think also one of the things that I really connected with is this thing of like, you know, when you become a parent, it's like you have to, all you want to do is protect your child and like make them safe, but you have to allow them to explore and live and experience things. And obviously that's in a very heightened situation.
God,
but every day you have those things.
And so different. You'd be watching it now. I bet if you'd watched it before you'd had your son.
I probably would have still responded strongly to it, but probably not in the same way.
In the same way, totally, yeah. She also captures, it's funny, because you didn't tell me your Rex before coming on, but the thing I remember from it is that she really captures, and even though it's really quite dark what's happening, this kind of coming of age, it's like really innocent. The light that's used, the music that's used, is coming of age, and this like feral youth.
But also the beauty of the love story.
Yeah.
And you really like root for them, even in the messed upness of it. Like, and I think that that's the thing. Like, you see the struggle between the parents as well. Like, I mean, on the outside, you'd be like, what terrible decisions. Like, I can't believe they've invited this guy into their lives. But they're like, it's making her happy.
Yeah.
And we have to somehow allow this. I just think it's the most, like, I don't know. In other hands, I don't know that somebody would have been able to, I don't know, manage the tonality of all of those emotions and allow it all to like live in that way. It sort of feels like a film from 40 years ago or something. Like there's something quite retro about it too.
Totally. Also, I wonder if that's to do with it being Australian. It's not honestly, but like there's not like it's almost not Americanized in a way. Like it could be, but it isn't at all. It feels of a place. It feels quite specifically of somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you think someone said to me recently that they've said their parents said to them, because my friend's just become a mum and she's been struggling with certain parts of what that looks like, and her mum said to her, it's funny, you will only ever be as happy as your unhappiest kid. And that, I guess, applies if you've got multiple kids, but also applies to if you have a kid. Do you think that's true? And do you think that's maybe what these parents are dealing with, that it's like, to be happy, your kid must be happy?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird thing. Like, I think, first of all, like when you become a mother, and I've said this to a few friends of mine, there is, and maybe your friend is going through something similar like this, there's a very weird grieving process that you have to do, because you are never, ever a single entity ever again. And I think that feels, in the beginning initially, much more strongly for the mother. I'm sure as a father you end up feeling that way, but I think in the beginning because you've grown this person within you, and then they're there, and it's like you're never going to make a decision like with a singular thought in your head again, which is just you, right? That doesn't exist anymore. And I think you have to grieve that old person. So then going forward, like to your question, it's like, I think you're just so intertwined with your child that, I mean, I can't imagine, you know, I hate even talking about like kids getting sick and stuff, because I can't imagine what that feels like, you know. And I like, honestly, the days when, you know, like yesterday evening, my son was having a total meltdown, and it just like, I see me and Tony, like you just like, you start to just get so stressed, and you're like, no, I can't take on his mood because I have to regulate for him. And it's so hard because you want to do anything to fix it.
I watch my brothers do it with my nieces, because I have 4 nieces and nephews now and 2 older brothers, and watching them all, like my sister-in-laws as well, that we'll go on holiday together, and they are mental. The 4 of them together are absolutely nuts, and screaming, crying, throwing up, the whole thing. And watching all of them remain calm, sometimes obviously that changes, but generally they seem to have learned to stay calm. Watching my mum and dad become grandparents, I don't think I ever recognised what patience looked like until I saw my mum as a granny.
Oh my God.
As Yaya. Like, I don't think I ever realised that she would have been so patient with me as a kid. But like, I now think of her as the most patient woman that's ever existed.
Your capacity for patience, and this was always the thing that I was so scared about becoming a parent, because I was like, I'm not a very patient person. How the fuck am I going to do this? I still probably could learn how to be more patient. Like Tony's definitely the more patient one, I think. But I don't know, it just appears. Like you just it's sort of an instinct that kind of kicks in. You're like, okay, well, he's having a hard time. I just got to like allow him to have that. And then, you know, to a point, I'm not fully on board with the gentle parenting fully, you know. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's okay, you've been hitting me 17 times. It's okay, darling. You know, there's a point where you're like, all right,
enough.
You know,
enough is enough. Yeah.
But
then a bit like I don't know, like our generations of people would be more raised to be like not so gently parented.
Oh my
and
God.
We've all worked out,
I mean, I am the product of a very Irish style of parenting.
You're 1 of 5, no?
I'm 1 of 5 plus my foster brother and sister. And so 1 of 7.
Yeah, that's so Irish.
It's so Irish.
I love that.
And it's like, you know, if dad gave the look, you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good film pick. That's a really good film pick. I hadn't thought about that one in a while. The main thing that I always took away from it was the soundtrack. I think it's such a
so
beautiful,
good.
Yeah.
Eliza Scanlon, though, she's so amazing in it.
Have you
so
worked
amazing.
with her since?
No.
I wondered if you might have. So I know Saoirse Ronan, I think she would have, because you know Saoirse as well.
I do know Saoirse.
On Little Women.
See, I've never worked in Ireland, and so that's the weird thing. The only Irish actors I've ever worked with, well, apart from on Belfast, has been on Outlander.
But then how do you know Saoirse on that lot then?
So Saoirse, I know.
Ronan, this is.
Weirdly, Saoirse, so when I lived in LA, this is like such a weird convoluted thing. There's a director, his name is Louis Leterrier, and his assistant, who is Irish. And I had worked with Louis and his ex-wife. I'd done a short with her. She was also a director. And Brian, who is Louis' assistant, was really good friends with Saoirse's dad.
Okay.
And so weirdly, I first met them through that connection at some event of some sort.
And then were you doing Outlander at the time?
No. This is before, way before that. Yeah.
No way.
And then we just bump into each other at events.
Because she's an Outlander fan.
Is she?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The reason I
They've
did
watched.
I promise you. No, Jack, I don't know if he is so much, but Saoirse, that's why I did the Outrun, was because I went and saw Richard Rankin and Saoirse
because they did the Crucible together.
They did,
Macbeth.
not
the Crucible, Macbeth. You did the Crucible.
Yeah,
they did
at the
Macbeth.
Almeida. And when I got there, Richard said, Saoirse's quite a big Outlander fan. She'd like to meet you. And I was like, are you joking? Saoirse wants to meet me. What are you talking about? And I met her and she was like, oh, I'm fangirling a bit. And I was like, this is the most absurd
Isn't
situation
it
I've
so?
ever been
I
in
always
my
find
life.
it so weird, the people who watch the show. Because we have an audience that is kind of like, I'd say the greater audience is like a certain demographic, and you kind of like, there's certain people I'm like, I would expect them to like really be into the show, and then you'll get these random outliers where you're like, oh, really?
Yeah.
And it's always so lovely.
I know. I was like, you're so cool and you're so classy and like you do incredible work. I love that you love our show. But no, I always find the Irish contingent, everyone knows everyone. They're all really supportive of each other, and also everyone's so good that everyone's always like Killian
there's
Murphy
such
and
a
all that
lovely
lot.
I have to say, like going to the IFTAs, the last couple that I've been to, it's such an amazing night, because you look around the room and you're like, fucking hell, like this group and this industry in such a small country really punches above its weight. Like there's so many amazing storytellers, filmmakers, actors, great production companies.
Such a moment as well.
But you know why that is because the government has had a long-term investment in the industry.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for Scotland. That's what I want for Scotland.
The Irish government have just announced that they are doing a basic income for creatives.
like in Germany.
It must be.
Yeah,
I don't know
Germany do
about
that.
So I think it's like
if you're not working, you'll get
yeah, I think it's like you have to apply, but there is, if you're working in the industry, so if you're a writer or a musician or an artist, that I think even if you're working but like you're not making enough, you can get this basic income.
Yeah, it's like Germany. That's so cool.
Which I think is brilliant, because like it's also, when you look at what the industry brings in terms of revenue, like it's a huge I don't know. It's huge in Ireland.
Very big.
So it's like, why wouldn't you invest in it?
Totally.
And like when I was growing up, like it was always Ireland, the land of saints and scholars. It's like we have this like really deep tradition of writers and storytellers and musicians, and I think it's like it's important to invest. And I think it's the UK have really fallen short on that, and it's so short-sighted.
It's also just like proof is happening in front of you, where in every film and everything coming out right now, there's someone incredible and they're Irish. And they're cool.
They're
Everyone's like
ass.
cool. It's like that's literally a gang I want to be a part of. Me and Jack Loudon talk about it, where we're like, how do we do that for Scotland? How do we make it like
Scotland's cool.
Yeah. But
I
Scotland is
think
cool.
they need to invest more.
Yeah, there isn't the same sense of like looking out for each other. Like Saoirse and Jack told me about how they'd got Jack. It was Jack that was telling me. He was like, we went to Killian's house, and I was like, I know who you mean. He was like, Killian Murphy. I was like, I know who you mean. And at that dinner, Killian said to Saoirse, can you give me Paul Mescal's number? Because I'd just like to like congratulate him on everything that's happening. If he wants any advice, like if he wants to chat, I'd be right up for it.
I feel like Killian should be the patriarch of the Irish actors.
Yeah, I mean, Jack,
you know
like,
what I mean?
how we do that? Like, we need to do that for people, and like, not that we're Killian Murphys, but you know what I mean? Like, trying to.
But I think it's really important. I think it's like, I think too often people feel like there's somehow competition or something in our industry, and it's not. It's like, you know this from probably doing stuff where you sit in auditions or stuff. It's never about one person versus another. It's like about if one person sort of like is right for something. And I think it's like, you know, again, it's that community thing. We're all supposed to be inspiring each other and encouraging each other. And if like you've got a project, it's like, oh, maybe we can make it together.
Totally.
Or, you know, and that's the fun of it.
Yeah. And finding like, oh, it's only good if you get more successful, because then we can all work together and do stuff together.
And like, look at Cillian. Like, I think I admire someone like him so much. Like, have you watched Steve?
No, I need to on Netflix.
So good.
Yeah,
and like, you know, that's somebody who, he has this relationship with Max Porter. He has a relationship with Enda Walsh. You know, he works with the sort of same people. And I think that's so cool to be able to like go from something so huge as
Oppenheimer. Yeah.
And then be like, no, I really want to go and make these beautiful short or like smaller films that like really mean something.
Okay, second rec.
My book.
Yeah.
And I know this is a very popular book, but it's the book that I've probably gifted the most in the last 2 years. I've probably given about 10 copies of this away. And it's very small. I think it's only about 200 pages. But it's and it did win the Booker, so it is like out there. It's not like it's an unknown thing.
That's okay.
But it's called Orbital by Samantha Harvey.
Okay.
And if you haven't read it yet, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, I haven't. I'd love to be the 11th.
It is one of the most powerful and beautiful books I've read in such a long time. I read it 2 years ago, and I was on holidays in Mexico, and it's the kind of book that you read a page or two, you put it down, and you find you've been daydreaming for about like 35 minutes. About it, or even just like it sparked something that you're now in a world in your own.
Without giving it away, what generally is the story?
So the story is, it follows 6 astronauts that are in the space station that is orbiting Earth.
Wow, okay.
And I think it's only one day, so it's 24 hours, but in that time they orbit Earth 16 times. And it sort of bounces off each of them, sort of
their experience,
a little bit of their own life, and then something that is down on Earth that they've experienced. So like one of the characters, there's a typhoon, a massive typhoon that's gathering in the South Asian Sea. And then it sort of goes to his relationship that he had with a family, I think in Indonesia.
Okay.
And then there's another British character, and I think it's her. I probably shouldn't have said that. That's a big spoiler.
I could just bleep that.
We can
just bleep that part.
Oh my God, that huge thing that you've just said that we've bleeped out.
But so it's all these meditations on like grief in the kind of physical sense, or like the human sense of losing a person, but also I think there's like a grief in an existential sense.
Yeah.
And I think there's something sort of akin to when you're flying. You know, you're in that space.
What is that about?
I don't know.
I had it recently, again, every single time I fly, but I've had a couple of fair amounts of grief this year, and I really have only in the air. I'm like, oh my God, Lauren, what is this thing where what happens?
But I think I like, in the air? I don't know, like I think it's something about this suspension, or like your removal from Earth, that there is a certain thing that we are part of Earth, that there's a groundingness to being on Earth, like it's where we're supposed to be. And when you're in this space, this kind of, you know, untethered space, that there is a fragility that you become so much more aware of. I don't know, that's how I like to think
makes sense.
of it.
I mean, there's the sense of like, as I've got older, I've also got more afraid of flying, that I'm like, oh, we could just drop at any time. But it's always the notes I have on my notepad around like getting shit out of my head.
I love to write on a plane.
Yeah.
I always take my notebook on a plane. I always bawl at movies.
I just bawl like most of the time I'm up there.
You're just crying.
It's like trains as well. It's the same thing on trains. Do you get it like that? Journey from Scotland
Trains is
to Glasgow?
different. Trains, it's more of a, like I love, it's sort of a melancholy that like,
it is.
like there's something
Leaving
about
a
travel
place.
anyway. Like, but I do think there's a different type of, it's like a fragility or a vulnerability that happens when you're up in the air. And like, can you imagine, like that's just in a plane. Like, can you imagine if you were in a space station? So anyway, it's just this yeah, it's this really beautiful, like, it sort of covers lots of things. Like it covers philosophy, it covers, I don't know, life, death. It's such a special book.
I think the more I've gone through stuff in my life, I don't think I was taught when I was young to reach for books as a form of sort of putting words to my feelings. And I remember,
as a form of catharsis kind of thing.
Yeah, and one of my first bad breakups, like 8 years ago, my friend sent me a Rupi Kaur poetry book.
Oh.
And I remember thinking, this is words to my feelings. This is the most amazing thing to grasp onto. And still now I find, like, going through stuff like grief, or it is like paper, or it is that sort of something.
It's really
written rather
sad
than what
because
I'm
I think
that I'll go to.
I think we are less and less intertwined with that kind of like physical act of reading. I think so much of our time now, it's like these easy consumptions of things and easy hits. And, you know, Ethan Hawke has this, you know, and I saw it on Instagram, so, you know, I'm a fucking total hypocrite. But Ethan Hawke says this beautiful thing about how people don't think that the arts are essential, right? That we don't really need it. But in times of great feeling, like if you experience loss or if you experience love, like that is when you reach for a poem or something, because
I feel like it's endless the amount that you can grasp. That you can. I'll never stop searching
because
for how
you
people
want to
describe
know.
love.
Has anyone ever felt the same as me?
Exactly.
Is this normal? Is anyone else experience what I'm experiencing right now? Be it like the depths of pain or like the most highest, you know, highs.
There's also comfort in that, of going,
well, it's that thing
I'll
of like
survive.
the more specific and personal things are, somehow the more universal they are.
Yeah.
Like there's and now my brain is taking a holiday. Rick Rubin's.
Yeah, Rick Rubin. Big fan.
Rick Rubin. So he talks about like never, like any creative act he does is never for an audience. It is purely for himself. And it's only when you do that, it's only when you're expressing a unique
perspective
that people can relate to it. I think if you're trying to like
satisfy
like a kind of amalgamation of people, you're never really speaking to anybody.
I also think you never know what people have gone through, and so to try and sort of tailor it to people that you actually might not know what they're dealing with, I think you're far better coming up with something that is so personal to you that might actually secretly connect with them.
I mean, we do that, right? When you're talking to somebody and somebody, you know, tells you something bad that happened to you, your first instinct is to kind of go, oh, well, it's not the same, but this is what happened to me, and that's how we relate to each other, is through story. There's an amazing, and this is a podcast, well, there's an amazing podcast, which is so, it's the telepathy tapes.
Another podcast though.
No, but this is so different. It's not like an interview thing. It's so brilliant, but it's about really nonverbal people with autism.
Oh, cool.
And their capacity for telepathy.
Oh, wow.
But in season 2, there's an episode on creativity, and Rick Rubin talks as well in it, and it's mind-blowing. But I also, there's an extra rec.
Yeah. That's another great rec. We like this. This is what I have a question for that anyway. Okay, cool. So on Orbital, is there a reason why you read it? Is it someone gave it to you?
No,
or
I think I was in another rec, Daunt Books, my local bookstore. And I think I just picked it up. I can't remember. I actually, to be honest, I have no idea where I got it. And I was feeling very smug because I was loving it so much and I gave it to so many people, and then it got longlisted for the Booker.
Oh, this is pre-Booker.
It was pre-Booker. And I have to say, this is my 3rd year in a row where I've like had the... but the last 2 I sort of picked the winners, and this last one, I actually haven't read the winning book, but I've read 2 of the other ones, and one of them I was like, that's got to be the winner.
You have to be the next Gillian Anderson, because she's just been judging.
Yeah, but I think she reads way more than I have the capacity to.
She read like 160 books.
It's
65 books last year.
You
I
do.
think she had to for the.
I think if you I don't know if it was Sarah Jessica Parker did the Booker.
Oh, is that who I'm thinking of? That's who I'm thinking of, not Gillian
I think
Anderson,
it's like you. It's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Like you pick a year.
It's
So you're like,
Jessica
I'm just going to
Parker.
like park a bunch of stuff. And then you just have to read. I mean, it's like an insane amount of books they have to read.
Okay.
All right.
Third
so
rec.
My third rec is
Film. Sorry.
a
Song
new
album.
album from somebody that I had never heard of before. And I have no idea about anything other than I've been listening to the album on repeat for the last 3 weeks.
Sick.
So the album is called Iconoclasts. And it's by Anna von Hausswolff.
Excellent name.
Which I was like, I don't know. Is that a real name?
Anna, can you say?
Anna von Hausswolff. So it's very, and it was so funny because I was listening to it again this morning when I was having my shower.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you want her full real name?
Yes.
Oh
please.
God, what is it?
Anna Michaela Ebba Electra von Hausswolff.
Stop it.
Very cool.
Wow.
Is she a nepo baby? She got cool parents?
I
Not even.
don't know if that matters, does it?
Just because you know how like celebrity parents name their kids mad names.
Yeah, but Anna.
Very Nana Smith.
They were like, we're going to go with something
Anna,
very
so true.
traditional for the start. And
and
then
this
just like,
Yeah, and then just all.
she has 19 grandparents and they've
Yeah,
named her
yeah.
after everyone.
Or Anna is like short for like Anna Electric. Again, Electric.
Anastasalina.
Parents are kind of creative, like visual artists,
They're hippies.
composer.
They're hippies.
Where's she from?
She's Swedish,
Sick.
Ah.
Obviously.
Gothenburg.
Swedish.
I mean, that
Gothenburg.
also says why she's so cool.
Yeah.
It is such a cool, like, it's very ethereal, like very kind of witchy. And I feel like
You're a witch.
I'm very into my witchy
You're definitely a
vibe
witch.
at the
Yeah,
moment.
no, you are. How did you feel during the film in situation we just had not long ago?
It was great. I did lots of meditating
Did
and
you?
yoga and
I felt
had my
mental.
crystals and
Okay, so you're tapped in. You're tapped into it in the right way. Wow.
I was harnessing the power of the Scorpio full moon.
That's very clear from Outlander. That's very Marceline clear from Outlander. For Marceline
is,
thinks you're a
yeah.
white witch.
I think I don't know, maybe oh yeah, maybe I'm just
I
art
always
imitating
decided
life.
that I thought that Marcy thinks that you're a bit of a white witch, but she's okay with it.
Yeah.
She's not keen to burn you at the stake.
No.
She was initially, not anymore.
No.
Yeah.
She's down.
Yeah,
I think
she's into
Marceline's like a bit witchy woo too.
Definitely. Yeah.
No, I love all the witchy woo stuff. But anyway, this album, very witchy woo.
Okay.
And because I was away filming, I was like in a little house on my own, which was the most gorgeous little cabin right by a river, sort of in the middle of the woods. There was deer in the front lawn all the time. But I listened to this a lot, and there's a song on it with Iggy Pop, and it's amazing. And it's called The Whole Woman. But like Anna, as we will call her,
Full name redacted.
Anna Von.
Yeah.
Anna V. She's very it's very kind of like almost Florence and the Machine-ish.
Yeah,
which
love it.
love her new album as well, by the way. So it's and then he comes on and it's like this big like deep baritone, and just all of his life, and it's just like his voice is just, you could dive into it. Like it's amazing. And so the juxtaposition of their two voices is so cool. It's
Okay,
really
sick. Where
yeah.
did you say you listened to it?
Where?
When you were filming?
Yeah, when I was
Calgary?
in Calgary.
And did it come up on Spotify Discover? Was it
No,
someone
I
you'd
think I
recommended?
read in
Oh,
one
you're
of
reading
my
reviews
I think
of
I read a
songs.
review.
God, you're
of
like
an
my
album.
dad. You're
Yeah.
a music girl.
Well, not really. I think I just in my jet lag, I like read the newspaper from front to back.
Do you?
I just read everything
On the iPad or something?
on my phone. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
It's a bad habit. But
No,
when at
it's
3 a.m., but I'll read
Why is that a bad habit?
all of it.
That's a cool habit.
I'll read like the weird sports things that I've like sports I don't even fucking care about.
I think that's cool because I think that makes you extremely type A, by the way. You're not getting away from that. And so much knowledge. You know so many random things.
I do know a lot of random shit.
That's like my dad will come in and be like, oh, I've heard this new band in Mojo magazine. And he'll
Oh,
have-
well done,
yeah, or
Dad.
I've read the Sunday Times review of something and he'll be like, they're loving it or they're hating it.
Well, also I think that's how I find like books and stuff, like the Andrew Miller book, which did not win the Booker, and I think it should have, but I haven't read Flesh, so. But This Land in Winter, which is a fucking beautiful book as well. But like I read a really early review of that, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get that. So that's, I think it like,
It's absolutely a great
which
way
is
of doing
also why I think, real critics is such a great, like.
What do you mean?
Well, like, I think as newspapers and journalism and all of that is going away, like actual real critics
who are actually good at
who are
doing
good
it.
at like giving you recommendations. Like that's one of the things I love about like a great bookstore is when you can go into a bookstore
And they know.
and they can go, here's great books. Like when they have up there's a little bookstore that just opened up in Marylebone on Seymour Place, and it does a lot of translations. So it's like primarily translations, and you can go in and like every time I go in, the lady or the man who own it and run it, they're always sitting there reading.
Yeah.
And so they'll be like, oh, this is what we've been reading this week, or this is what we've been reading, and like you should read this, or you liked that, you should read that. That to me is like
crack.
A little bit of heaven.
Yeah, I've always been interested because actors always talk about like music, getting them into character on set. Because I've always known you on Outlander, I've never known like a process that you've really done. I've just watched you kind of be Claire. Have you ever like in a great way? Also in like a, I would just walk on set and you just wear her, and by the time I joined the show in season 3, you'd really like got your handle of it, obviously. Did you ever have any like Claire things that you would have, like music that would get you into stuff for her?
Yes, I think especially in the beginning, because I had no technique. I was so green.
You were new, yeah.
I was so new. And I was so terrified. And so I had lots of things that I sort of like needed. Like I used to have a lot of music before I would do emotional scenes and stuff. And now, I don't know, now I don't need that as much because I think I've found a way to like relax and not like search for things. Like I think like what I'm trying to do in my work now is instead of like, I don't know if this is going to sound totally wanky because I feel like every time somebody talks about acting it sounds wanky.
It's okay, that's what we are.
I think like before I used to, I think it's a confidence thing, right? Any kind of technique or stuff is all to give you confidence that when they say action, it's there. And I think before I used to feel like I had to like plan stuff and like, you know, the music would be there and I would have done all my like research and all of this stuff. And I love doing research and I love sort of doing stuff beforehand. But now it's all about just when I'm there, it's like making sure that I can be as relaxed as possible. And I do I hum.
Do you?
I do a lot of humming.
Humming a particular song?
We're going to need to hear that.
Huh?
We're going to need to hear that.
No, like it's not a, it's a weird, like I think it's just a thing that just like gets me very calm.
Did you ever have a word to get you into the Claire accent? Like a phrase or
Yes,
anything?
I did. And now, what was it? I used to say all right a lot in my head, like all right, but it was something else, all right.
That's what Emma Corrin talks about doing for Princess Diana.
Oh, really?
That was one of her words. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Their words, yeah.
It was something else I used to say.
I used to say
accents are the one thing, like that's the thing that'll like make you not confident.
It puts you on edge a bit. I actually love doing it. I'd rather do an accent more often.
Well, I've never done my own, but like I've recently done a few tougher accents.
And it's crazy. What I always do is there was 14 of us. I don't know why, but in lots of different accents, like in an English, there's 14 of us. Or there was 14 of us. I don't know. I always use that as a phrase and I don't know where it's come from.
But like I did a film last year, the year before, where I was Russian. Or not, I wasn't. I was like, yeah, no. I was like, oh God, my goal was just not to sound like Gru. But that was a lot of, like, that was just listening to stuff repetitively, like just kind of, I found a voice. And like, I find it very hard to work with dialect coaches just because I'm not trained in that way.
It can be really frustrating.
Well, they are very, you know, when they start talking about diphthongs,
totally,
so I'm like, I don't know what you like. Just what
I'm like,
say
it like that, and I'll repeat it. Yeah, same.
And actually, it's more helpful for me to just find a really good example, and then just sit with it myself and like listen and listen and listen and repeat and then you know, and then you kind of have to throw it away, like because when you get on set, it's like the film I just did now, it was American. But it was like in the country, but it was Colorado, and like, so they've got this like, it's quite a neutral American accent, but it's also a little bit, you know, broad because it's like mountain people. And it's so hard not to sort of slide slightly southern. But then you're like, sometimes when you get really emotional, the last thing you want to think about is the accent. And you just have to go, all right, I'm going to do my best to like be as specific as possible. But really what's more important is what I'm feeling and thinking and how I'm interacting with this other person.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Not getting bogged down in
Not
technique.
getting bogged down in it.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's been so many bad American or Irish accents by American actors that I feel like, you know,
You're
if it's
so
bad,
entitled. Yeah. Fuck all
I'll just be leveling up the score a bit.
Yeah. Okay, last to round it up. This will come out probably before season 8 comes out.
Okay.
So what now? Like, how do you feel now? Like, it's about to come out. That part of your life's going to be done. What are you going to wear to the premiere?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, to be honest, there's so many emotions tied up in it. Like, I feel immensely proud of it, like, as an entirety. I'm going to feel sad that it's gone.
Yeah.
But I also, there's something now that we've finished, it's like, it sort of like feels weird that it hasn't aired. You know what I mean? Especially now that Blood of My Blood is on and everybody thinks that that's still the same show.
Is not.
And it's like the two are so confused with each other now.
Yeah.
It's like, I sort of want to feel like having invested that much of our lives in it, like it would be nice for that to sort of exist in its own world. And then for also Blood of My Blood to allow them to sort of have their own journey and their own moment and let that be its own thing too. And sort of at the moment it feels like the two are very conflated.
I almost feel like a lot of people are just waiting for it to happen, for Outlander to come out, and are I think when it comes out it will be quite epic. I think it will stand alone as its thing, and everyone will. I mean, the poster, hey.
Poster's kind of cool.
Poster's beautiful.
I think the poster's amazing. To be honest, they sent us like every year.
The forehead touch.
The forehead touch. It's iconic.
The iconic forehead touch.
They always send us like for approval. And I think it's sort of like just a courtesy, because I think if we said no, we don't, they'd be like, well,
we're doing it anyway.
But this is the first time I was like, oh, straight away.
That's
nice.
Really cool. Yeah.
It feels fitting.
I'm glad to not be in it, actually. I didn't want to be in it. It's fine. It's very
we could have had more.
Okay, well, I'm excited. Let's see what... It sounds like I'm getting
Lauren's gotten very emotional.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. No, it'll be amazing to see what happens. And I look forward to our all big group photo.
Can I just say that you have like the most epic nail polish on?
Thanks, my brown nail polish.
I like that.
That's the final
chocolate.
Rec. Try chocolate nail polish.
Very good.
Thank you so much for coming on and being my re-guinea pig.
Yeah,
it felt more comfortable this time. It felt less like I was absolutely shitting myself. Both, not just like I know kind of more what I'm doing with this podcast now. Feels like the baby.
It feels very stepped up, guys.
Doesn't it? That's it. Say it here first.
Really stepped up.
I am so glad at how well that ending of that episode went. I feel I really articulated myself perfectly. As someone that uses words as my form of income, it's great to know that I can do it.
Yeah.
What a great episode. What an interesting, fun, wild episode. I mean, kind of crazy catching up with her away from the show as well when we finished shooting. We finished shooting like about 6 months ago. Yeah, about 6 months ago. No, a year ago. We started, oh my God, it's been a year. Over a year we finished.
Wow. So do you get to see those guys much outside of the show?
Not as much. We do see each other because we're all quite friendly. But we see each other at like press things or like Comic-Con things, stuff like that. Or if I go up, actually no, because Kat's in London now too. So we're all kind of, we do catch up, but not as much at all. So when you see each other, especially out of costume and things, and there's no hierarchy.
Oh, we should have had it in costume.
No, we shouldn't, Jimmy. Funny. We should not have had it. There's no way I'm convincing Caitriona Balfe to wear a costume to come on a podcast.
Come on my podcast, bring some recommendations.
Could you just bring one of your archive costumes?
That's the voice. That's the voice. There it is.
Right, okay, it's that. Right, okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just
pops up quite a lot.
Does it? Wow, that's embarrassing. That's really embarrassing. Okay, next week we've got one. I think your favourite.
Oh, he's he's so good at kind of everything he does. And sometimes it's annoying when people are so good at everything they do. But with Tim Key, who is next week's guest,
Yes.
you just can't be annoyed with how good he is because he's very effortless with it and just
he's so much more sensitive than I thought he was going to be. He's like such a sweet I know him a bit and I was like, oh, you're not just a gag a minute, but he is also at any moment in time hilarious.
So funny.
I've never been with anyone quicker. So he is coming on. We're going to be somewhere else. We're going to be in bed somewhere.
Yeah, with microphones and cameras around it.
Yeah, feels like there's other people in the room.
Yeah,
because there technically is.
Yeah, I was there.
How was that for you?
I actually really enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was good. So that's next week. In the meantime, there's more from Caitriona.
Yes, and She's a Extra.
There you go.
Thank you. On She's a Extra, go on there on the Patreon, and you will get some like very secret stories that we haven't told anywhere else.
Have you told that Glastonbury one anywhere else publicly?
Not publicly, only to friends.
It is good.
It is good. Sorry, Outlander. But like any actor would probably find it quite funny. Anyone that doesn't understand what it means to be an actor and how you don't own your own time and how you are owned and don't get time off, what the lengths that you have to go to get time off, you're gonna have to go to the Patreon to find out what that length looks like.
What that length looks like.
That's what I said.
Good.
That's what I said.
Probably time to say bye, isn't it?
Okay, bye.